Hello and welcome to another episode of the Front End Horse Front End Stampede. My name is Alex Trost. Thank you for being here. It's great. It's great to have you. Really appreciate it. Chat. We have so many fantastic people already in chat. My goodness, you saw Mike. I saw Wilster. Saw Scott, Adrian, Nikolov's here. Yo, Nikolov. Jacob. My gosh, Lucie's here, but she's also here, so that's really exciting. Ben was here for a sec. This is fantastic. Thank you so much for being here already. We've got a really, really good one. So Tuesday show, this one is where we focus more on front end, just yeah, front end stuff. Like there's like the creative stuff where it's just like, let's go crazy, let's get creative. And then this is front end with creativity sprinkled in. So that's what we're doing today. If you see down below, we are doing Vue 3, which I haven't touched at all. Vite, which I also have not touched, and Prismic, which I have worked on. I do work there. But I'm really excited for this. There's a whole lot to learn, and Lucie, our guest, has brought some fire. Honestly, I might have squealed when I got a peek at what we're doing. So without further ado, let's bring her on. Lucie, how you doing? Good to see you.
Hey, doing awesome, thanks.
So I know you pretty well. At least I know a version of you. I know the work version, but no. But for people in the chat who might not know you, can you introduce yourself a little bit? I gave you no warning on this, by the way. I should have given you a heads up. Hey,
Okay.
maybe you should introduce yourself. But you're a pro. I know you got it.
I'm Lucie. I have two Alex jokes every day during the dailies. So I'm his colleague at Prismic, and together we're working on the developer experience of Prismic, and Alex is more on React and doing stream thing, and I'm more on Vue.js and doing integration and open source for the team. And apart from that, I have a blog. I have I write no in Zen, but it's more no Zen than no. And
you are a Nuxt ambassador. I'm not sure if you were going to say that, but it can be, a little awkward to say I'm a Nuxt ambassador. So I'm going to say it for you. I think it's so cool. You are so like you know what you're doing, right? So you're not coming in. I'm gonna learn from one of the best, so I'm pretty excited about it. So yeah, we're gonna be and you've been digging in this stuff for a bit. I'm not sure how much you can reveal, but you've been playing with Vue 3 for a bit and other projects related to it. But
yeah.
So
definitely being an Next ambassador indeed, and we are looking forward to next 3, and it's soon.
Yeah, that's I mean, I just keep hearing like stuff from you. I hear what you're working on, how cool the new features are. I don't know any of it. I'm excited to get into it. Anthony's in the chat. Ogilvy, welcome. Good to see you. Like a front end horse. Yes, exactly like a front end horse. It's front end stuff, like a front end horse. Yeah. And yeah, Vite. Mac is here. Mac, good to see you. Got some great people here. Awesome. So Lucie, do you want to kind of talk over what we're going to be doing today? I've kind of said that we're doing some Vue 3, some Vite, and some Prismic, but do you want to give a little bit of a sample? And is there any word that you want me to show as we talk this through?
Well, I don't know if you want to show the final result now or maybe later.
I think we can talk about it and let people picture it, and then we'll take them there.
Okay, so basically today I made up something for us to go through what's Vite, how to set up Vite, and then how to start building things with Vite and Vue.js. So we will as you can see in the list here actually.
It's so hard to point. You always point the wrong spot. I always do it. It takes me forever.
So as you can see at the list here, we're gonna set up Vue Router now to have some navigation going in our app. We'll set up Prismic in order to bring in content, and at the end we'll do some front end in order to render our website. And the website we're doing is a website for Nathan, which is a website made of recipes for horses.
Yeah. So most people might not know, but the front end horse. The actual mascot, his name is Nathan. Nathan. It's funny and it's clever and the chat's cracking up. I know that's what's happening right now. Nathan, exactly. Nikolov got it. So she's made a recipe site for Nathan, which is just perfect. I love digging into the theme, going with the puns. See, they're cracking up. I'm sorry, chat. The entire premise of Front End Horse is, what if we did front end development and bad puns? So I mean, you're getting what you paid for, right? Like you're showing up for it. So yeah, we're doing a recipe site with Vue 3, Vite, Vue Router, and Prismic for Nathan. I'm super excited. Lucie, where do we start?
Okay, well, so we start with the first step, which is setting up Vite. This one is pretty easy to do. So, well, yeah, you can open, actually, yeah, great. Okay, so we need a terminal to do that. And then the first thing that we need to do is to actually run npm init Vite.
All right.
And then, well, yeah, init Vite and add latest, just to get the latest version. I'm not sure why they specify that. Well, I'm sure why they specify that on the doc, but maybe there's a reason for it. And then you specify a folder name.
Okay. What are we calling this?
It's the last straw. Well, that's the name I came up with.
Fantastic. Excellent. As soon as I saw that, I was very excited, just that we were getting a little bit punny. And VJ, Pun Master, is here. Alexa Trost. I'm sorry if I just triggered anyone's Amazon device, but
all right.
I love it, VJ.
Okay, sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah, so, well, basically Vite is like, well, it's comparable in a way to Webpack, and therefore, like, you can have like JavaScript, React, Preact, Svelte, and anything else running with Vite. And it was made by Evan You, which is the creator of Vue. So of course we have also Vue working on it. And well, because we're working with Vue today, we're gonna pick Vue.
Okay.
You keep a Vue JavaScript. We won't use TypeScript.
Okay.
And here we go. So yeah, you can jump inside the folder.
Last straw, npm install.
And now you can npm install.
Cool.
And once this is, yeah, tell me.
No. You were going to explain it. I was just curious what that's adding.
Okay, well, basically this is just like that. Well, first command like npm init Vue was just creating like some kind of boilerplate project for Vite. We now installed the dependencies for it. And well, we have like basic like Vue.js setup with it, but is running under Vite. So we have Vue 3, and then we have like few dependencies in order like to make the thing be able, like, in order for us to be able to develop on it, basically.
Cool. That's awesome.
All right.
By the way, this logo, it's just nice. I love the lightning bolt. It's so good.
Yeah. So, well, maybe you want to just give it a spin first?
Sure.
Yep. So you can start with npm run dev.
Okay.
And so, well, as you can see, this is already done. That's one of the power of it, is that it's leveraging modern JavaScript technology, let's say, to like be able like to skip like the bundling part as much as possible when in development mode, and therefore like just starting the server is like made really, really quick. Okay. And also like everything like hot module replacement and like everything like for us as developers to work on a Vite project is made like really quick, and that's really pleasant when working with it.
Awesome.
All right, and well, that's already it. We're done setting up Vue. Vite, sorry.
Wow. So that's okay. So the first step, we're already good. Wow. So
yeah, we are now.
So just to reiterate, so Vite is going to do a lot of the work that Webpack would normally do, like bundling up my JavaScript, let's do like code splitting and turning SCSS to CSS, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, that's that.
but like all those build step kind of things that
basically like everything that we don't touch anymore on like as developers nowadays, like it's handled by Vue, by Vite, just like Webpack was doing it before.
Awesome.
Except it's much faster.
That's really cool.
All right.
I see Samuel Horn in the chat. Good to see you, Samuel.
Yeah.
El Evidente says Vite gives your build some extra horsepower. Nicely done. I love it. Vitamins. Love it. Chat, you are on fire. All right, Lucie, we are set up with Vite. So now we're going to set up Vue Router. Is that right?
Exactly. So Vue Router is like the official Vue.js library in order to handle routing in a Vue.js application. And well, it's the official one, and basically like it's the only one that is like widely used. well, to be honest, I don't know if there's like others. Maybe there are, but like this is the ones that everyone is using and it's like really nicely integrated with Vue.js. And well, so we won't think too much about it and just install this one.
Cool.
So
for me, coming from the React ecosystem, it's a lot of like whatever your choice, whatever you want. Like there's not
Rich Router, React Router, anything.
Right, and yeah. So but like with pretty much everything, there's like you can just choose the community's made some kind of a plugin or some kind of library. But with Vue, it's much more like these are the tools that Evan, you, and the Vue team have created to go with Vue, right?
Exactly. Cool. There's not a lot, but like there's one for routing, which is quite basic thing in my opinion. All right, so well, I will get you through, so no need to go on the documentation.
Okay, sounds good.
So yeah, we'll first install Vue Router. So we'll go to yep. So we will npm install Vue Router, and we'll specify a version. So Vue-router, and it's at next to get like the next version of Vue Router. Basically, like Vue, the ecosystem right now is like splitted like in two phases. Like Vue on the latest channel, which is like Vue 2, Vue Router for Vue 2, and everything related to Vue 3 is on the next channel. So like that's why we gotta specify this at next tag for like npm to install the Vue Router version that is compatible with Vue 3.
Got it. So we did next because we've got Vue 3 here. If we're using Vue 2, we would just do regular Vue Router. Like
exactly, yeah.
Got it. Cool.
Okay, so now, well, we're done with the terminal for now. We can just start the server again. All right. Okay. Let me know if I go too quick or anything.
No, this is great so far. Yeah.
Okay, and also in the chat, if anyone has any question, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So, well, we just installed the we just installed the dependency. So now let's configure it actually. So we can go to src.
Cool.
And we'll create a router.js file inside it.
Here. Cool.
Yep. So inside it, we'll import two things. We'll import create router and create web history. So you can like add the accolade. No, it's not accolade, it's curly brace. Yep. And so we have create router. Yep. And now it's create web history. Exactly.
Cool.
Okay, and now we will define a router constant. Yep, and it will be create router.
Okay.
And now, well, basically, create router is like the factory function that will create like a Vue.js plugin, and this will give us like a router plugin for Vue.js that is configured the way we want it for our Vue application. And so this is the first step. We are creating the plugin using the create router function. And after that, we'll just inject this plugin that we just created inside our Vue.js application. So we need to specify two things to this create router function. Okay. It will be for an object. And the first key that we need to specify to it is history. Yep, and history, basically, Vue Router is made like agnostic of the platform. So like you can have like, well, in our case, we will use like a web history, but you can have like an in-memory web history, which can be useful is for whatever reason you want to use Vue Router only in Node, or if you're using like Vue Router in another context, like this can be helpful to just implement another type of history.
So
but for our case, we're just using. Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And actually, well, this can be useful, like for example, if you're writing tests depending on Vue Router, because tests are only run within, well, you can run tests only within Node, and this can save up some time. But well, yeah. So we go with create web history here.
All right, Copilot's got our back.
Yeah. And now the second argument that we need to pass is the roots array.
Cool.
No, it's like inside the same object, sorry.
Oh, okay, cool. So roots.
Yep. And roots is an array, and it's an array defining like our roots actually. So it's like well, on our application, we'll have two pages. We'll have like an index pages, and then we'll have like a receipts pages, which is like used to like display a single receipt basically.
Cool.
So each root is an object.
All right. So doing this.
Yep. And so there's the first argument, which is path. So path, the first one will be just slash. Yep. Actually,
Cool.
that's great.
Trying not to let Copilot take over. This is so funny though.
Yep. And now we have just gonna give it a name quickly. So the name will be index.
Is it matter
Yeah,
if it's
no,
capitalized?
it's just like an identifier. It serves some purposes, but we don't really mind it here. And then indeed, like we'll have a component, which will be, we have component key, which will be a function.
Okay. So like a
fat arrow function.
Cool.
Yep. Exactly what it was suggesting. No, yeah, exactly.
So
this one.
I wonder if I should turn it off for streams. That's what I'm starting to wonder right now because it's like
it's spoiling.
Kind of jumping the gun. Well, it's just
yeah.
like I've really enjoyed working with it. It's been great so far, but it can sometimes throw you off when you're going that path and it's like trying to be like, what about this over here? And you're like, like you have to make an extra decision. So I don't know.
Yeah. And to answer Samuel, we are not using Nux today because, well, we wanted to use Vite and because we just released a new version of our Vue 3 kit for Prismic, so that was the opportunity to show it also.
And I've never used Vue 3, and Nux 3 isn't out yet, correct?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So it's just a couple like serendipitous things of like, I would love to learn Vite and Vue 3, so let's do it. And we get to bust out the new Prismic thing. Thank you for the follow, Varun. Welcome. You are now an honorary horse. Appreciate you being here. Cool. So,
all right. So we need to correct a few things. The first one is that we won't use the @ symbol. We just go we replace it with a dot. Because, all right. And next, well, that's all actually. Now we can define our second route. So we'll have, and you can copy the line, I think. All right, so this time the path will be /receipts /:UID. So basically, here we are defining like a dynamic route. Yeah, just add a / before the colon.
Sorry, I've got to do a couple things first. Chat's getting demanding. Right. Appreciate it, chat. All right. So a / before the colon. Cool.
Yep. All right, so we need to change the name. So this one, well, I called it single receipts. But
single, all one word or hyphen?
Up to you.
Or I mean,
like it doesn't have any impact.
Okay. Single recipe.
Oh yeah. Well, try to keep it on one word then.
Okay.
All right. And this time it will be first we need to update the path for the component that we're importing.
Okay.
And so it will be, well, you can call it just _UID or we can like have a subfolder. That's up to you.
Like that?
All right.
Is this good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Maybe this is good. Okay. And then the last thing we got to do for Vue Router is just to export this router function, this router plugin that we created. Yep.
As default?
Yep. As default.
All right.
Okay. Just a quick note. You might have noticed that for components, we are using like a function style with an import thing. The reason for that is that we're doing it this way. And this made like Vue able like to create a dedicated chunk when building the app for the dedicated pages, so that when you load the application, you don't have to load like every route. You just load the ones that you're on it. And if you switch route, it will download the new route dynamically.
Got it. So I don't have to have a huge import statement at the top. Instead, I can pull it in this way and do this a bit more dynamically. So I can break this router out if I have a no.
Yeah, no. Okay, sorry.
No.
I explained it wrong. But basically, like when you use like this syntax to create to import a component, this will tell Vue to create a dedicated chunk in the finite bundle for this route, and because like this like basically like split our code for the finite build, and therefore like on the production application, when you go to a route, you just download this route and you don't have to download every route as this is like some performance improvement.
Got it. Okay, so this helps with code splitting, is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And Varun, that's exactly that. Like it's lazy loading route basically.
Perfect. Great way to put it, Varun. Thanks. All right, great.
All right, so well, we created the plugin. Now we need to install it to our Vue.js application. So to do that, we add to main.js.
Okay.
And we will import our router on it.
Capital R router.
Well, that's up to you because like we are importing the default statement, so you can like name it whatever you want, and it will work.
But I mean, what would the
Yeah,
convention be?
I will go with lowercase.
Lowercase, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And now, in between, like just before the dot mount, we will use a dot use and provide it the router.
Cool.
And so we can save. Now, if we go to application, it won't work because we don't have our route created yet. We need still to set up a bit of code.
We broke.
I think it will be in an error state. Yep.
Got it. All right. Yeah, because we don't have this. That makes sense.
So let's go set up those pages really quick.
Cool.
So you can create a views folder.
All right. And on an index.
Yep, index.view and _UID.view. All right, you can just set up some quick like template inside it from Vue. So if you type HTML, you should have a snippet for you, like template HTML.view. All right, second suggestion was the right one.
Whoa, Steph, thank you so much for that gifted sub. I really appreciate that. That's super, super kind. Thank you so much. Wow. Blow me away. Really appreciate it. Cool. Okay, so that's all I need for that. It's the template.
Right. Yeah, just put like some kind of like just put a div and with just a hey inside it. Yeah, cool. And you can copy the same one to the other route, maybe with something else so we can differentiate.
Hey. Does the underscore do anything special for it? No.
No. Well, in our case, it doesn't do anything special because we are writing the router ourselves.
Okay.
Like the underscore is just like the thing like to know that like it's a route, it's a dynamic route within Next, and I just keep that convention here because it's convenient.
It's a naming convention. It doesn't do anything magical with Vue or
Vue Router. Exactly.
Cool. All right.
All right. So we have our two components, so it should be happy now. Okay. The only thing that we need to update our app.view component, which is like the main, like the first mounted component of our app.
Seeing there, yeah.
Yep, exactly. So you can remove pretty much everything except the template.
Okay. Do I want to gut the template or keep it there?
Yeah, you can cut the template also, the inside of the template.
Cool.
And inside the template, we just register a router view, the component, which is just to say that the current route needs to be rendered here. So it's router view.
Like this?
Yep.
Okay.
View like views.
Very confusing.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine.
Sorry.
It's you didn't name it.
But I don't. Yeah, and you can put a / before the end, like an auto close tag. I don't know if that's. I don't think that's needed, but just feels better like that for me.
Thank you so much for that Prime sub. I really appreciate that. Wow. Thank you so much. Great to have you here. Welcome. My goodness, so many generous people.
And now if we go back to our application, we should see our hey home. And if you go to / receipts / something, it should only see hey. / something.
We did, hold on. What is it? Recipes / ID, right? So it would be / this.
Anything. Yep.
Andre Louise, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Awesome. So we got our hey. There it is.
Yeah. Okay, and wow, we are done setting up your router.
We have a hype train going on, Lucie. People are loving this. Andre, thank you for that Prime sub. My goodness. Y'all are fantastic. Thank you so much. Look at all these horses. My God. I love seeing all the horse gifs. That's the main reason I'm here, honestly, is that so that people can trigger horse gifs whenever something happens. It's so fun. Thank you so much, everybody. Y'all are fantastic. All right. So at some point, Lucie, and I'm not saying now, but I would love a quick overview of Vue 3. I genuinely have no idea what the big, like I've used Vue 2 a good amount, but I have not kept tabs on what is changing in Vue 3, why it's such a...
Exactly.
So
we will have that, no
we'll
worries.
get to it. Cool. Just wanted to say
Yeah.
for later. Cool.
Well, just to say it, no, like basically one of the main things that came up with Vue 3 is the composition API, and we will use only that today.
Okay.
So you will get to learn a bit of composition API.
Awesome. Mac in the chat is saying that I assume Cappy is composition API and that it's a game changer. I'm excited for that. Hype that horse. I need that. I need that if it's available. All right.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right. So we are done setting up Vue Router. That's the second bit that we can tick on our list.
Oh yeah. Let's do it. We are going through. We're being systematic, but we're flying through, chat. We're doing great. All right. Now what? Set up Prismic.
Okay. Yeah, setting up Prismic. So it goes a bit like maybe. Okay, yeah, we can talk about the repository before. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Prismic. Alex, you know it.
I'm familiar.
But basically, it's a wonderful headless CMSs that we're both working for. And it's just a service online that you can use to like manage content, and it gives you an API. And as developer, you can consume that API anywhere you'd like to like have dynamic content inside your website. So here I went a bit ahead and like I created already, I configured like a Prismic repositories and like shoved in like some like content and horse related content.
Yeah, well, we can check out the custom types first, maybe, right?
Yep.
Would that be easier?
And
cool.
so like how it works is that it's a bit like, for WordPress developers, it's a bit similar to WordPress. Basically, like you define like type of content that you'd like to manage within the CMS. So like you can have like here we have a type of content for the home page, and we have a type of content for the receipts. So we can have only one home page. So this one is like a singleton, and the receipts, like we can have as many receipts as we like. So this one is a repeatable.
Cool.
And if we go inside receipts,
cool.
Yeah, because it's more interesting than if we go inside receipts, basically like, hey,
Steph
nice.
cheered a bit. I appreciate it, Steph. More horses.
Wow. Okay, and basically like defining like a content type is like saying, okay, so I want each receipt to have a title, I want each receipt to have a description, I want each receipt to have a thumbnail, yada yada yada, and that's the story. So I already did that for our content today, because I wanted like to have something a bit ready and do not spend like an hour doing it.
Yeah. But
so if you want to show anything,
building that out, you choose from one of these on the side, right? It's like there's lots of different content types, and as you build it out, you choose if you need a boolean, right? Like light or dark, or off or on, right? Like lots of different ways to build out your content. It's just a nice little content modeling experience here.
And so, there are slices. I don't know if you want to talk about it now, or you want to talk it when we touch slices later on.
We can say that I think that so you've added some slices to this page, and slices are like these optional components that people can add to the page, move them around, and we'll see that a bit more in action. But right now, you've added a couple slices here, like a banner image, a table list, and a recipe step. And we can look at like a banner image, and that has an image, and that makes sense. That's a banner image. A table list, we've got a title, and then a repeatable zone where you have a key value pair. So that's like calories 5,000, this, right? Like that sort of thing, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Samuel, thank you so much. Really appreciate that sub. This hype trade is insane. Y'all are fantastic. I was trying to complete the hype trade. Steph, thank you. We got through level 1. Thank you to everyone for completing the hype trade. These hype trains. Tickets,
there's
please.
4 minutes to go.
Tickets, please. That's got to be my hype train thing. I said it the first hype train, and I'm gonna keep doing it.
You need to add like some kind of like music once the hype train starts.
Yes. Or I set up a model train behind me, and it just drives by, and we hear a little like the faint distant choo choo. I'm gonna go all out. We just gotta keep these hype trains happening, and then a model train, that would be a freaking cool streamer setup. Honestly, this morning I was joking that I need like a horse mailbox that wheels in, and we do like a mail segment where I open the mailbox and see what someone Let's see what Jesse from Colorado says. Jesse says, this is not a good segment. You should stop it. Well, Jesse, right? Whole mail segment. It'd be perfect. Oh my God. I was promised a train whistle. I'm not going to buy it from Bezos, but where am I going to get it then? I don't know. Make the hype train sound that we like to party sample. It should be the Friday sample on Fridays. Anyway, thank you for the hype train. Y'all are fantastic. This is so good. So yeah, we've got a few slices.
Mm. And well, so that's the content type definition.
Cool.
But like once we're done defining each of those, like we can just go to the document section, and then we can like create as many like content type as we'd like. So here, well, as many like instances of those content type as we like. So I created one for the home, and which is just like a title and description, and then I created like 3 recipes, and yeah.
Love it. Recipes. And then cool, we got 3 recipes here.
Yep.
And
nice. Yep. So well, that's Prismic, and now we're gonna set up like the Prismic plugin for Vue 3 and see like how we can like query that content inside our Vue application.
Perfect. So we've got the data in our CMS. Now we just need to fetch it and pipe it into some components. Awesome. All right. So
so we go to the console and install another dependency. Cool. This will be the last one that we install.
All right.
So it's npm install, and it's at prismic.io/vue at alpha.
Just like that?
Yep.
Cool. All right. And is alpha once again because of Vue 3? Or just because
well, that's part of it, and there's also because like we don't have documentation for it yet, and
this is the documentation. Honestly, this live stream is all anyone needs.
Yeah, actually,
our docs from now on are just gonna say, check out this episode of Alex talking with Lucie.
Yeah, and actually, if you want to know everything, like I was working on this alpha during the last 2 weeks, and I just released this afternoon the alpha of it.
Awesome.
So like we got like the fresh content.
and we've got the library creator here, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's pretty cool. I think that's awesome. I have never done anything like this, so I'm amazed by it.
I think I should know how it works.
Time will tell, Lucie. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe there will be bug and everything.
But you'll know how to fix it, probably.
Yeah.
All right, let's just stop making promises. Let's do our best.
All right, so yeah, you can start against the Vite server. That's great. And water.
This is just that's quite fast. I know there's not a lot going on just yet, but that's nice. That's really nice.
Yeah. And well, we'll see once we start like doing like the front end part of it, but like the hot refresh of the page like is really fast.
Awesome.
So, well, that's done. Now what we can do is we can like create a prismic.js file just like we did for router.js.
Okay.
So inside src.
Okay, cool. Prismic.js?
Yep, prismic.js.
Cool.
And so, well, it goes a bit like the router.js file. So we'll import create prismic from prismic view.
In brackets?
Yep. Yeah, in curly braces. Prismic correct. Nice try.
I mean, Copilot knows me at least.
It's at prismic.io/view.
Thank you. And Samuel, yes, sweet. We got hype train emotes and stuff. Thanks, chat. Well done. Samuel, yes, I am on PC now. I wasn't before, correct. Been on PC since like December. Prismic View, there we go.
Yep. And so, well, again, same thing as router. We create a const prismic equal create prismic.
Okay,
yep.
Cool. So
and yeah, it's an object.
Nice.
Exactly. And now we have a few things to give it. So first thing to give is the endpoint of the Prismic repository that we have.
Okay.
And so the endpoint is pretty convenient because actually it's not that.
It's just general endpoint. I mean, honestly though, a good guess. Like Copilot.
Yeah.
It's still a good guess.
It's not too far off. But actually like one of the new features of the Vue kit that you can just give like the repository name. So we just give a string of the last row.
Ooh,
And
that's really nice.
Yep, and this works nicely.
That makes sense because
So
it's like it's Prismic. So whoa.
yeah,
Ogilvy, thank you for that Prime sub. Really appreciate it. My goodness. That's super super kind. Wilster says Vite is just too fast. I can't even alt tab to the browser before the changes go. That's what I was thinking, Wilster, is that we're gonna have the code next to the browser so we can actually see it because I don't think we're gonna be able to catch it. My alt tab is not that quick. My alt tab game is a little slower than that. Cool. So yeah, we got this. Anything else?
yep. And actually, like if you want, and like that's all we need to have the thing working for Prismic. But
Okay.
we just gonna specify another config in order like to resolve each of the links of our application.
Okay.
So to do that, we'll use the client. Well, we add client config key to our object.
Nice.
Yep.
And it's typed.
And then it's an object. It's not the one from Copilot.
See what I mean? It's like I look at it, I'm like, is this right? Every time.
No worries. Okay, so now it will be default params. And the IntelliSense is right. You can trust the IntelliSense. Yes. And now it's roots. And actually now it's like pretty similar to what we did for, well, default params is an object and inside it there's roots.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, roots. And now roots is an array.
Okay.
And inside it, we have like, well, it's a root result from Prismic. So basically, Prismic, when you init the API, it allows you like to pass in like a root resolver, and it's like some kind of object that defines how each document are related to each other, and allows you like to create like a URL for each of the documents that you query from Prismic. So we will give like a first object for type home document. So it's an object.
You said type document?
No, it's type home for the, well, it's the name of the home document.
Cool.
And then we have path, which is a /.
Got it.
Yep. And we had another
just
object.
Real quick, that's going to map this type to /.
Exactly.
Cool.
And now we add another object, which is for recipes.
Okay. So type is recipe. And
with an S.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool. My fault. Cool.
That's all right. And path, this time, it's actually the same as the Vue Router, so it's / recipes and / semicolon UID. No, colon UID.
Awesome.
Yep. Now we can finally save to see that properly.
Yeah, sorry, I should have done that before. A little bit rough. Now I'll give everyone a second to actually read it, so it's not just one line. Cool.
Yep. And well, that's done for igniting Prismic. So basically what it does is like, well, it just creates like, again, like same mental model as the Vue Router one.
Yeah.
With Create Prismic, you create a Vue plugin that you can then use inside your application. As you can see, it's pretty similar.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Like, I only have to learn one kind of paradigm to start to understand how to wire up an entire Vue app. That's really cool.
Yep. And now same last thing. So we need to export the Prismic constant that we created. So export default.
Cool.
Yep. And now we go to our main.js file and we can import Prismic and use it just like Vue Router.
Do I pass it in as like an array in here or just another use?
No, you pipe it again. So you do .use and the plugin.
Okay.
All right, so we can save. Yeah.
Does order ever matter with these? I'm curious.
I think it changed like the order it's registered, but well, both plugins don't have any dependencies on each other, so it should be fine.
Okay, cool. Just curious because usually like my limited. Well, I mean, when I think of piping, I think of like NGRX and like how you could modify and mutate the data, and the order definitely mattered. But this is cool. Okay, so there's Ed that has a nice question.
Yeah. Why we used UID instead of ID? Basically, UID. Well, on a Prismic document, like you have two IDs indeed. Like you have the ID, which is the like some kind of like random numbers that we have in the database and that you only see through the API. And then like for like documents in Prismic, you have the UID, which is basically like the slug of the document. And this is something that you need to define for like repeatable custom types. And like for receipts, I don't know how to say it, Alex.
It's a recipe. It's totally fine. Totally fine.
And so for recipes, you just like add a UID field, which is just like a slug field, like if that's more common for you. And we use this field now like to create the URL at the end.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. It comes from Prismic.
Yep.
And so if we go to a document, so for example, like a carrot porridge, we can see that we have like the UID, which is like a slugified version of the title.
Yeah, it's pretty much all of it. Like if I try to go like and other stuff, it'll slugify it for me.
Yeah.
So it's gonna disregard my changes. Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
Question,
so
man. Thanks.
All right. So now we've done setting up Prismic.
That's awesome. This is really, really handy. Okay, cool. So now does that mean that data is going to be automatically piped into my / like it's already going to be set?
Oh, no.
there?
No. We'll have to use the composition API and everything to do that.
Okay, cool.
And actually, we can start like the last step, which is like building the front end, which will take us some time because we have some.
It's going to be a bigger step than setting up Vite, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Okay, so for the front end, I decided to go with the CSS framework. And you can show it if you want.
Let me see if I have the link. Oh yeah.
There it is. So I went with NES CSS, which is like some funny CSS frameworks that allows you to have some like retour themed website easily, basically. And so we'll use that to make our website today.
Yes. Oh wait. Image rendering pixelated. That's a thing?
Yes, that's a thing, but I'm not sure how this works because I think like that's when you scale the thing up, you know. Or maybe like you can click on the code button to show the.
Oh my gosh, that's so hard to read.
Yeah, that's not convenient for documentation.
I wonder if that's. Yeah, I'm trying to see. Like that's.
Yeah,
I just want to inspect this real quick and see if this is.
Yeah, we can. Scaled
image
up.
rendering pixelated. Oh, it's just okay. So it's blurry to start. I'm gonna put this on like something. Let's put it. This is probably an SVG, right? No, it's an image. Oh yeah, it's an SVG. But I'm gonna see if it works. Let's see. Nope, didn't work. Didn't do anything.
Yeah, I think that's when like you upscale an image, and like that's the algorithm used to like upscale the image.
That makes sense. I don't know if anyone in chat knows a bit more about that. I've never really used image rendering as a property, but the upscaling that does make sense. Cool. All right.
So we'll use that, and so let's install it quickly. So that's the snippet I sent you.
Yeah, cool. Let me hit over there. All right, where am I dropping this?
All right, so we're gonna drop that in the code. So it's in the index.html at the root of the project. Yep, under.
There we go. Cool.
Yeah. So I just gave Alex a quick snippet to install it quickly. So we need to install it in the head, just after the Vite app title.
Cool.
Yep. So let's just go through. I added comments so we can follow along. So first thing is like we install the Google font for like the pixelated font. This one is pretty straightforward. Yeah. Then we import NES CSS. And then I just did like some boilerplate CSS to apply the font family on everything. Same for the background color and the color of the text. I fixed few things with NES because I was in need of it. I did some small resets because it's just like not interesting to go through together. And that's and finally I did like 3 utility classes right at the end. And so it's just like we have like a container which is using the actually I read Steph's article this morning which exposed this technique to like do a modern container. And exactly.
Drop that in the chat. Yeah. Oh, you already did. Nice. Yeah.
And yeah, well, that's the first thing we saw in it, I think. Or I don't know, but well, that's like an interesting way of creating a container. And so I used it here to create a container.
Awesome. Love it.
Well, go give it a read. Like it's really interesting.
Yeah. This bit alone already blew my mind. Like, yeah, it's Steph writes some fantastic articles. Um, a wealth of knowledge, Steph. Thank you so much for everything you do. But yeah, I'll stop scrolling super fast through that. Sorry if I gave any motion sickness. Cool. So we've got that. We got the utility class. Let me try to tab back into this.
So
Yeah.
that's the first one, which is a container to just enter our content. We have the block one, which is just to apply some horizontal spacing on the block. And we have the stack, which is to apply some like gap between list items, basically.
Cool.
So
Awesome.
that's just for us to go faster. Moving on.
No, absolutely.
All right. So maybe you don't want to do the header now. So let's just start by the index page.
You don't know what I want.
Okay, so tell me. I'm listening to you, Alex.
I'm happy to do whatever you want. Just let me start that. Like, you probably don't want to do that. I don't know what I want.
Okay. Well, let's do some Prismic and like do the index page.
All right, cool.
So on the index page right now we have nothing. What we want to do basically, we want to display the title and the description of the page, and then we want to list like all the receipts of our page.
Cool.
Recipe.
Don't let me sweat. I should have said anything. You're doing great.
All right. Okay. So first we will just query the home page from Prismic.
Okay.
So to do that, we will open the script part of the Vue template.
Ooh.
Yep. I'll just pick any. This one might be great.
All right.
Well, we might need to wipe it, but yeah, actually, like we can wipe it. Well,
right.
wipe the export default part.
Okay. Just that part?
Everything inside.
Oh, okay. So the entire bit that I did. Got it.
Yep. So,
right, cool.
there's like a nice way like to use the composition API.
Okay.
In Vue, in single file components from Vue. It's just like you have to put like the setup attributes on the script tag. So right after the opening script tag, like you add an attribute, line 5 just before like closing the script tag.
So then, what was it? Setup?
Just setup.
Okay.
And this basically tells you that this part of the script is just like how we like set up our component. And that's everything that we need.
Okay.
And so, here we need like just to like, basically like here, like not just, you can compare that like as, like it's really similar to like a React function or like not function component, no, like a React component those days. Like that's just like the content of the function without the render part of it, which is done above. Okay. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, I think it'll start to make sense once we get some stuff in here. Right now, I think I got it, but I think we'll start to get it.
Okay, so basically we'll use the composition API to fetch content from Prismic. Composition API, if you're familiar with React, it's really similar to React hooks, and you will understand that really quickly. So we'll first get our home page. So to get the home page, we'll just have a const home. Yeah, and equal. And then we will go for use single Prismic document.
Like that?
Yep, and home, exactly. And now we just need to import this bit because it's not here. So we'll import it from Prismic Vue.
Up here?
Yep, right here.
Import in there, use single. I think it had it. Is that it? No. There we go. Okay, just like that.
Yep. All right. Cool. And now, we can already like print the home inside the template, and we'll see that we have our Prismic document.
Oh, so how do we do that?
Okay, so you can stay inside you can replace the hey home part. Okay. And use interpolation. Keep a div because it won't be happy otherwise. But Okay, sorry.
It's fine. Yeah. I'm just not sure
Okay,
what to
so
type here.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, so create a main tag, a main.
Cool.
Yep. And inside it, we use view interpolation. So it's like 2 curly braces and then home and then 2 curly braces. Right. Well, that's the React way of doing it. Is in Vue, you need 2 curly braces inside around it.
Okay. I was thinking you were saying this for some. Got it. Okay.
No, sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm doing it again. Content, you're close, but not content. And not triple over here.
It's just fun, yeah.
Okay.
And now if we go back to our pages, we should see everything if we go back to the home page.
First off, the styles worked. We should have went back and checked that out. That looks awesome. So that's from the CSS, everyone. That looks so good. Let's go to the home page. Okay.
Yep.
So see, the reason I paused is because this would be an error in React, trying to render an object. That's why I was like, how do you want me to do it? Got it. Cool.
Yep. Yeah, the React, when you render something with React, it expects either some string or either a React component, basically. And that's why it's not able like to print to print object, because there's no way for React to know the difference between an object and a React. Well, there's apparently no way for React to know the differences between an object and a React component. In Vue, that works differently, and actually, like under the hood, Vue is basically everything that you render into the template. It's calling like the toJSON thing on it if it doesn't have a toString, and it renders it this way.
Nice. And I'm seeing we got some of our data in here, so we've already got it. Now we can start to like put this inside of an H1, or I guess we're going to use the rich text thing, and it'll do that for us, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, well, now we'll be able like to see a lot of like Vue and Prismic thing to render those data.
That's handy.
Because, okay, just
real quick, I just want. Oh, yeah. You know, you're going to explain something.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay, so to make a quick recap for everyone, what we did right now, we used like a Vue composable from the Prismic kit, which is comparable to a React hook. And this composable just get like all the data from our document page that we defined within Prismic. And then what we did, we displayed all this content inside our page because we can do that within Vue. And what we saw on the browser was like all the content from our home page coming from Prismic.
Yeah, so we have in here, discover our latest recipes. The last straw offers you thousands. The last straw offers you thousands. So it's basically the JSON object that we're getting from Prismic. Just thanks to essentially this, like, you know, in my mind, like a Vue hook. That's really simple. When does this run? Just on, like, does this always run before render, or am I getting in?
It runs on render. And it's like, yeah, it runs on, it's like, I don't know, you're creating right. It's like exactly right, like the content of a React element, of a React component, excuse me. It's like exactly the same thing, except that you don't have a return function. Instead, it's your template above. Got it. Okay. I don't know if that makes sense.
I think it'll start to piece together a bit more.
I'm taking some shortcut by explaining that. I'm doing it this way, but yeah, like I think that's clear.
Yeah, no, it's great. Real quick, Wilster dropped some knowledge on us. So TLDR. Oh, am I quiet? Thank you for letting me know. I really appreciate the feedback. Yeah, so just let me know if that's the case. I bumped myself up a little bit. Just let me know when Lucie and I are talking. Cool. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate that, Richard. Sorry, I'm stuttering hard right now. Wilster says, TLDR of image rendering crisp edges uses WebKit optimized contrast will preserve contrast and edges and do no blurring or smoothing pixelated. No blurring or smoothing. Pixelated will use blocky but blurry large pixels. There's also auto, which is just default scaling, along with some experimental values. That's really cool. Thank you, Wilster. Appreciate that. I had never changed the default on that. That's super cool. And thanks again, Richard. I appreciate it. Cool. All right, we got our data in. So now we're gonna pipe it into some.
Yep. Exactly. Content. So, well, first thing we want to do, we want to center everything on our page. So we will apply the container classes on the main.
Okay. Oh, I went to do class name. You saw me. You saw I typed class N.
If you want to laugh at me, like I've been doing class name on 11t, and of course this doesn't work.
Cool. So we got our container class, and look how
Yep.
nice and centered it
Yeah,
is.
it's centered.
That'll get fixed
It's
soon.
not centered this one because like we're dumping thing here, but well,
Yeah.
let's forget about it. Now we will just define a header tag because
All right.
this will be like the header for document basically.
Just like an H1, right?
No,
Or
a header tag. Yeah.
Cool.
And inside it, indeed, we'll have a H1.
Cool.
You can, I think you can like remove the home part now.
Okay, I liked it though. It was showing us stuff.
Okay, and now again, like we use interpolation, so 2 curly braces.
I keep doing it. There we go.
And
Twoxy,
this,
welcome. Thank you for the follow.
And this time, what we're doing, we're using like Prismic to render our title. So it will be $Prismic dot as text.
Dot
as text. Because we want like the content of the title as plain text, and then we give it home.data.data.title.
Okay.
Yeah, right. And so this should work. But one thing is that basically like with Vite, like we didn't configure anything right now for like pre-rendering our document on the browser. So everything is happening on the browser. So like the document might not be there. So to prevent our app from crashing because the thing is not there, we just use a if directive on the header tag to not render this element if the data is not there. And so it's if home.data.
Okay, cool.
And so if is like the Vue directive to like conditionally render an element and then its children depending on like an assertion.
Awesome. And Thomas, great to see you. Welcome. All right.
Yeah, and now if we go back to our page, we don't have anything.
Cannot read property title of undefined. Is it home.data.data.title?
Should be. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, okay. We might want to like our home, like we are doing like const home at the end on inside our script setup. Basically, like home is an object that is not reactive because well, that's actually a nice feedback for me. But yeah, like home is not a reactive object. It's like just an object containing reactive objects. And so in order like to have home working, I think what we need to do is just like to extract the data that we're interested in from this object. So we will just like interpolate, like extract. Okay, I don't know how to say it. Like we use curly braces around home. Line 14.
Yeah, destructure.
Yeah, destructuring, exactly. Cool. And so we just pick data from it.
Okay, data.
And so above you can remove home for both. And now it should be fine. I hope.
Yeah. All right. Nice. Looking good.
And okay, so that's nice.
Get centered. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, that's well, I don't know about it to be honest, but yeah. So you might need like inside the setup function, like everything that will end up inside your template. Well, actually, that's kind of weird, but well, yeah. Well, like we need to have like those things destructured.
Have what destructured?
Like the like we cannot just ship like the object that is not reactive. We need to ship like reactive things to the template.
Okay. Is this like a thing that you're thinking about for later for like an update on the Prismic thing, or is this something that we're doing now?
Yeah, I think that's something on the Prismic that I need to tweak.
Okay, cool.
But that's all right.
Chat, if you didn't hear, Lucie is the one that's maintaining this kit and who has done this, so that's why she's kind of like making a mental note. Cool.
All right, so we have our title displayed. Now we need to display the description, and this time because description is like a rich text field, we need to use like a component to display that properly. And so this time it will be Prismic rich text. Okay. So we use the component Prismic rich text. We don't have to import it. No, okay. We don't have. Yeah.
Is it because of the $?
Basically, No. Okay, sorry. Basically, we don't have to import the component from Prismic here because we are using the plugin, and the plugin takes care of injecting components into the whole application on its own.
Cool.
So we can just go and have like a component. So it's Prismic rich text.
Oh, we're gonna make a component here?
No, sorry.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, line like just add a line after the H1.
Okay, inside the header, cool.
Yep, and so it will be like you can like just like an HTML tag which is called Prismic rich text. Yeah, or component actually. Yep, and we self-close it.
Cool.
With a /. Okay, yeah, I don't. I don't know. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I want to keep adwas. And so this is a component from the Prismic kits that takes care of rendering a rich text field. And so we just provide the field to it. So it's it's colon field to like do a vbind. And then it's equal like the rich text field. So this time it will be that data.data.description.
Cool. And just to wow, it's already there. I just was about to tab over, and there it is. And just to map up like where are we getting that? This is coming from our Prismic CMS for the home page. So that's where we're getting description because that's what we called it. Nice.
Okay. So we are done rendering the home page, but the home part of the home document on our page.
Yeah.
We just need like to add a block class to our header in order like to space it a bit from everything.
Okay. Block, you said?
Yeah. So it's just a class on the header tag. Yeah, and it's block. So we should just add some space up and down of the
all right.
component.
I do want to kind of quickly see. So I'm going to remove it. I'm going to hit save. It's pretty fast. Yeah. That was like instant. That's really nice. Sorry. I love that kind of stuff. I love watching hot reloading. And when you don't have very hot reloading, when you have lukewarm reloading, it makes you really appreciate when it's just instant. So that's great. Cool.
Okay. So now we will render all our recipes. Anyway.
Nice.
So like here it's the same story. So we need to fetch all our document from Prismic that are receipts and get it inside our component. So we'll stay on the index and we'll go like because I want to like display a list of them in order like to go to the single page.
Got it. Cool.
So it will go the same way. So it will be const braces data. So we'll like bind it to another const name. So I called it receipts.
Yeah, is it
colon, yeah.
Cool.
So that's like we are destructuring and reassigning the name of the variable in order to avoid a conflict here.
Right.
And so it will be use all Prismic documents by type. By types. Sorry.
That's fine. By type?
Yep.
Cool.
And well, this time it imported it on its own, so that's pretty convenient.
Oh yeah. Nice.
You have one, like the first one is not used, so you can remove it. And that's, well, now like if we like interpolate receipts inside our template, like we'll see like all our receipts.
So yeah, we got a nice array of, this is really not the best font to like look at it.
No, the font is horrible to like read JSON.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's good for this kind of stuff or for just like the theme, but I could never like read a book in that. All right, awesome.
All right, so now we'll have like and then a list. So using a ULLI.
So just set that up right now.
Yep.
Cool.
ULLI. For the UL, we'll have a stack and block on it as classes. Yep. So block is just to give some space around it, and stack is just, well, we have nothing yet.
Yeah.
Stack is just like for each list item to have like some space between each other.
Yeah, where it was.
So that's like inside index. That's like the three little utilities that I brought on.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's very handy utilities.
Because we're not using Tailwind CSS today, so I got to have still some utility classes with me.
Perfect. Cool. So we got our LIs.
All right. Yep. And so our LI, we want like to loop over each of our receipts. So we'll use the v4. So it's not colon, just v4.
Got it.
Yep. And so it will be recipe in recipes.
Recipe and recipes. Cool.
So this is like just like a map of like of all our recipes, and we'll like just add a key because like just like in React we need to add a key to something for it to not whine, and so it will be receipt.uid.
All right.
And now inside it, like if you want to print something, you can print something, but like well, you can add something if you want. Just
recipe.data.title. Would that be it?
Yes, that works.
Getting close. Yeah, and then text. Cool. So this is the recipe title, recipe title, recipe. Awesome. So it's working. We were able to fetch it, and now we're looping through the array of recipes. Awesome. All right.
All right. So now what's remaining is like, well, we need to create like a card for it, basically.
Right.
So what we first do, like, well, each card to be clickable. So that's a great way to introduce the Prismic link, because we want to on each click on the card to get to the other pages. In order to do that, we'll use the Prismic link component. Yep.
Cool.
And it's we give it the field. It's not safe closing because this one like we'll be able like to input thing inside it well, we have like, our actual card inside. So Prismic link, we give it like a field, just like we did for rich text above. And so a field, and we just give it the receipt, the Word document.
Okay, cool. So
it's
pulling it from that. Got it.
That's a new feature of the Vue kit, but basically you can just give a document to a link and it will resolve its URL on its own, where before you had like to, that was working only like for link fields.
So Prismic link intelligently, well, I mean, because we've set our route resolver here. When we pass it a document, it's going to look and see what type it is, and then handle the path that we forward it to.
Actually, that's done on the server side of Prismic because we gave all of that to the client, so it's done on the server side. But there's another way to do it on the front side, but which is next called the link resolver, but that's not on our plate today.
Cool.
All right, so well, that creates a link for us, great. And now inside it, we'll have an article to create our card actually. And that's where we start to use NES CSS. So the article will have 3 classes. First one is a NES container.
Okay.
Yep. Then it is rounded. Is like to be.
Sorry.
Like it is is.
Oh, is
like
rounded.
Sorry. It is rounded. And with title.
With title.
Yep.
Cool.
And well, now we start by the title. So title, well, above, like for the H1, I showed you how to do it with using the $prismic.asText.
Right.
But there's actually another way to do it. It's to use like the Prismic text component.
Okay.
So again, you give, actually that's pretty right. You give it the field with receipt.title. Actually, it's
.data, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Wow.
And one last thing is that like this will render the text inside a div, but here we don't want a div. We'll put it within an H2. So we just put a wrapper. Well, we call it wrapper. We give it like an attribute called wrapper.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, wrapper, and we just say H2.
Nice. That's really
nice.
And
API. Last thing for NES, we just give it the class title.
Awesome. Should we check it out? Yeah. Look at this. Look at this. Chat, check this out. This is looking legit. Like this is like Stardew Valley. I don't know. This feels awesome. This is looking really good.
All right.
I like that blue. That's really nice. And shout out to the pointer hand. That's just such a nice little touch. That's so good.
That's a nice touch.
And I love that it changes on hover. That's nice. Cool. All right. What now?
All right. So let's keep going. So let's just give us a title. So we need to add a bit more thing. We'll add like a section tag. And basically we'll not create like the content of the card. So it will be like we'll have an image on the side. And then we'll have like some badges and like a description showing.
Okay.
So for the image, here we'll use the Prismic image component. And this one works like pretty much every other thing. So we'll give it the field. So it's field, and it's receipt.data.title.
Not title, is it?
Yeah, sorry, the thumbnail.
Thumbnail.
Yeah.
Cool.
And see you, Samuel.
Take care, Samuel.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
All
okay,
right.
Cool. Should I check that out? Nice. Look, chat. Look at the images. They're pixelated. It's just so good.
Yeah. They're not pixelated because we did some CSS on them, like because we were talking about it earlier. We just like I went out this morning and like did some turned some image into pixel arty thing.
It's perfect. Cool. All right, yeah. Prismic image. We got our image. We've got our title. Now what?
Yep. Now we need like we want like really simple card with like the image on this side and then like badges and description on the other side. Okay. So we'll have a div aside the image. Yep. This div will add the class stack on it to just like have everything laid out correctly.
Cool.
All right, and inside it will have first like a list of badges. So it will be an UL. Yep.
Okay.
And then we have a li, and the first inside the first li we'll have a div. Okay. No, there's no v4 going on here. Got it. Basically, like for each receipts in Prismic, like we define a duration and a difficulty for the receipts, and so we want like a badge for each of those two fields. Real quick. So HeoMelon. So yeah, so we have the UID, which is going to be the URL essentially. It's going to be the slug. Yeah. Description we're not showing that here, but then we've got we are soon. Oh, okay, cool. The difficulty and the duration is yeah. So those two we want badges. Cool. All right. Well, yeah, we can do it quickly. So let's add two classes to the div. So those are like classes from NES CSS. So it's NES badge and is splitted. Is yes, this way. Splitted, sorry. Splitted. SPLI. Yeah. Oh, that's a weird word. Splitted. It's like a cutting up. Yeah, just like that would be. Is yeah. NES CSS was made by Japanese people, if I remember correctly. Got it. Okay. So cool. Maybe that's I don't know. Something there. No rich text here. Yeah. We can just have a span with is dark classes. Is dark. Yep. Cool. And we'll just this one like it's a duration because it's like we don't have much spaces. I just put like the shorthand for it. So just a DUR and a point, like a full stop. To just that's just like some like displaying thing. Full stop. I put a full stop. What's a full stop? A period? A period. Yeah. Okay, cool. Sorry. That's fine. And then we have another span after that. After 9. Well, no, next to it. Okay. After 927. Okay, cool. All right. Yep. And so this one is primary. This sounds like a great use of DL and DD, all those elements. Yeah, right? I wanted to do that, but apparently NestJS forces you to use span. And I was really sad. Oh, that's a pain in the butt. All right, cool. And so this one, we will actually, it is right. It got it? Okay. Copilot got it? That's amazing. Yeah. Look at that. How did it get off of dir? It guessed it off of dir? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sorry, Wilster. A full stop. I'm like, but, huh? Yeah, I don't know. I heard a point, so I started to point with the arrow key. I don't know. All right. Yeah. Cool. All right. So, this gives us a badge. Yep. Actually, it's not looking like it should. Did I do the classes right? Is primary? Is primary, yes. Is the I don't oops. I don't know if it's coming in. Is it actually there? Oh, maybe it's not there. Maybe it's no, 35 is there. It's there. I'm seeing it. Okay. Well, let's forget about it for now.
Okay.
Well, or maybe we won't like. Yeah. Why is it not showing?
Do we need to put is dark on there as well?
No, we don't. It's splitted with one T. Maybe that's a typo from them. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not a word in English at least, but that's cool.
Well,
That's really neat. I love that badge look. That's so cool.
But that's a class.
Wait, what?
Okay, and yeah,
That's
that's
a
not a
class.
word, but that's a class.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so we have a second badge to display, but maybe I can just send you the snippet for it.
Or we can copy and paste this, right?
Yep.
Cool.
And so this one is actually it's not splitted, this one, so we can remove like the is splitted class.
Okay.
We can remove the first span.
Okay.
And we can just like change that receipt.data duration for difficulty.
Cool.
And now we have like a second page.
Nice. Breaks out a little bit there. Right. Oops, but that's fine. No.
Yep. Yeah, cool. the intermediate is like a bit broken, but
yeah.
Well, that's all. But
oh well. We'll come up with a shorter word later. All good.
Yep.
All right.
All right. One last thing we need to do is to display the description. So we'll do like after the UL, at the end of the UL.
Cool.
We'll have just a quick like Prismic rich text. And yeah, exactly.
It still freaks me out. It still freaks me out. Where's it getting that? How does it know?
There's already a description written somewhere on this page, and I think that's actually like that's the exact last instance of the rich text field that we did.
Description.
And it kind of figured out that we were like in a loop. I don't know.
How does it know? Where's it getting that from?
Yeah.
Weird.
It's spying us.
Weird.
All right, and now we have everything displayed, but we have some.
It worked.
Well, we have like some kind of we have like some kind of layout issue, so we're just gonna write a bit of CSS here to fix that together.
Okay.
So it's pretty straightforward. We just go down our file and we add a CSS block. Yeah, CSS tag
style.
Yeah, scoped. Yeah, the first one is great.
Cool.
All right, and we're just gonna target article as space section, like this section inside article.
Yep.
And end article space an UL. Yeah.
Cool.
So that's just to apply some style to those two things, and we need them to be display flex. To be in flex, yep. Cool. We'll have align items flex start to just have everything like anchored at the top of the...
You said align items, got it. Align items flex start, cool.
Yep, and then we just have a gap of 2 rem.
One of my favorite properties. God, I love gap.
Yeah. And well, now it should look great.
Yeah, it does. You're right.
Or better, actually.
That looks fantastic. Nice.
All right. And well, we're pretty much, we're done with our homepage, let's say.
Yeah. It's a wonderful homepage. Cool.
And
Ogilvy says, might have missed something, but where does the text difficulty come from beginner for that bit? Rensuquez, thank you for the follow. You are now an honorary horse. Appreciate it. From right here. So in the content modeling, Lucie created a difficulty with a select, and so we can change this. And she was making the recipe. She popped in one of those, and yeah. Does that answer the question, Ogilvy? Let me know if not. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So basically, it's like in Prismic, like we said that each receipt can have like a level, and it's like just a select field, and like the content writer can select like between beginner, intermediate, and advanced, and that's the data that we get on the front end then.
Yeah, so now we can
save.
Thank you, save. Now we can go in. Oops, went all the way back. Come on. Now we can go. Carrot porridge is definitely the hardest one by far. Ultra pain. So yeah, we should be able to refresh and
that should work.
So you got beginner, not anymore. Now it's ultra pain. That's just the way that I was trying to think of the difficulty scale from Doom. I know Hurt Me Plenty is one of them, but
Oh,
just
it was Nightmare. That's the
Nightmare.
only one
I
I know.
should have done Nightmare. Yeah, that's perfect.
All
Cool.
right. So we did our home page. Now let's go do
A
our
recipe
single
template.
page.
Cool.
So if we jump on a recipe, all right. Yeah. Well, we can start here indeed. So
No,
first thing first.
Is this not what?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
Wasn't sure
All
about
right.
this. No, it's fine.
So again, we need to use the composition API. So we'll go for a script setup tag again. And well, yeah, I really don't know if that's a great image, but like, yeah, like to me, it's like a React component here, what you're writing.
Got it. Yeah.
Minus the return statement.
Got it.
But well, we need few things. So first thing we need to know is like, because we are on a dynamic page, we need to know like on which route we are. And to do that inside this, like we need to ask our router to get the current route. And to do that, we will use the use route composable from Vue.
Okay.
So we'll declare like yeah, exactly. Well, but so we import a use route. Yep, exactly. Yeah. Yep, and from Vue Router.
Cool.
Yep. And now we'll declare a const route equal use route. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And so this route object will contain like everything that we need to. Well, it contains like the information about the current page.
Right.
So that's the first part that we have now. And now what we'll do, we will just create the content from Prismic using that information. So we will use, this time we use the use Prismic document by UID.
Okay, so
composable.
Import that first.
Yep.
Use, sorry, it was.
Yeah, so it's use Prismic document by UID. Yeah, all capitalized UID. Yep.
Cool.
And it's from Prismic Vue.
Cool. All right, so
and now we'll declare. Yep, and we yeah, again, like we take like data from the object, and this time it's like use Prismic document by UID. Or almost. Well, it's missing a bit, but like that's great. We need to add the first parameter, which is the document type, so it's recipes. No, it's not type, just a string recipes, and it's not another. Yeah. So, well, that was almost great.
No. Almost great. So close to great.
Yes.
Cool.
And yeah, now we do the part. Yeah. Wow.
All right.
So yeah, like we basically said that to Vue Router that everything after this slash is our UID. So inside the root object that we just got before, we have like this UID information, and so we can provide that to the Vue composable for Prismic, and this will give us the right document. And so if we go and print the document inside the template above, we can like, well, we will see the document. We need to, I think you'll need to wrap it because it won't be happy. Like inside a tag. Like to just wrap it inside the... Yeah. And get a refresh.
See, I just did.
All right.
I'm checking the logs. Let me see. 400. I got a 400 from Prismic, it looks like. Yeah.
Receipts, do we have a S to it?
Yep.
All right, then I'm confused.
Should we log out UID, see what we're getting? Oh, wait. No, never mind. That should be working. Gluten-free oat dumplings.
Yeah. Route, use route.
Undefined. It's not, is this wrong? Route.params.uid? That might not be.
No, this should be right. Route, use route.
Recipes. Router has recipes. Okay, so it should, oh, it's expecting ID.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
right?
You can rename it to ID. Yeah.
Boom, there we go.
Nice catch.
Yeah. So this is where we tell Vue what we want to call whatever is on the end after recipes, right? And then where were we? And then here we're just getting that back. So we could have called that fruit, and it would have Cool.
Yep.
All right. Nice.
So
We can go to
yeah.
this. Yeah, we got the document.
So yep. So let's do quickly templating of that.
Sounds
So
good.
well, first we'll rename our div to a main. Yep.
Cool.
So we'll have again like a few like layout classes. So we'll have all three of them. So it will be container, stack, and block. So container again to center everything in the center. Block to give it a bit of room up and down, and stack to space every children of it evenly.
Cool. Nice. All right.
All right. So we can save a bit of time by basically like we'll have the same header section as the home page.
Awesome.
So you can just copy the bit of it.
These two.
Well, we could have, well, in a real world scenario, we might want to do a component for that, but yeah, we just like doing it this way.
Cool. All right.
So that's already good.
All right. Yeah,
Yep.
it does. Awesome.
The only thing that we'll do is that we'll move like the if directive to the main tag. Because right now it's only on the header, but now we want, on this document, we want it on the main page, on the main.
It. What happens?
The reason for that is that we need like, we need like the receipts data across the whole document, not only on the header. So we are just moving it like one scope higher.
Got it. Cool.
All right, so we render our document, and now, as we explained earlier, like we are using slices inside those documents.
Yeah, now we can get into those. So I'll change the difficulty back because we know Carrot Soup isn't actually ultra pain, but it's good to know that you can make it ultra pain whenever you want. Cool.
That's a feature.
Yes. So yeah.
All right.
So you can go ahead with the slices discussion.
All right. So basically, each slices are like those are like bit of content that the content editor will be able like to arrange and compose like the way they like it within Prismic, and this is really powerful for them because they can then craft pages the way they like using any of those like content bits inside the page. And so what this renders to is that inside the code, we need like to add to develop like a small component for each of the slices in order to display those data. And then we'll use like a special component from the Vue kit that you will be able like to render all those like components in the right order depending on the page that we're on.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. So our editors are able to add a banner image or a table list or a recipe step. And as developers, we just need to handle what happens when the JSON object says, hey, I've got a banner image, right? So then we take that data and we tell it, use this component and show it this way, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Cool. And then we can get into rearranging these and everything. Well, yeah, I can click this arrow and move that up, and it'll be a bit more impactful once we're actually like rendering this out. But yeah, I can move stuff around real easily. Don't have to go into the code once it's all set up. But yeah, let's hop into that code.
All right. So the component that is responsible for rendering those things is called the slide zone. So we will add the slide zone right after our header.
Cool.
Yep.
Is it Prismic slice zone or just slice zone?
No, just slide zone, this one.
Okay.
Yep. And the slice zone needs two arguments for us. It needs our slices. So our slices is, slices. And it will be receipt no, it's okay. Excuse me. It's data.body.
Cool. Should we change this to recipe just so it's more clear?
Yeah, you can rename it to recipe.
That way we don't get the double data thing.
Yeah, and for the lines 5 and 7, yep. Yeah, I don't like the double data too.
Yeah. Does this VF need to be just recipe or no? Because
just recipe.
Yeah. All right. Nice.
Yep.
So it needs
and
slices.
It needs the second thing. It needs our components. So we will vbind our components.
Cool.
And so right now we don't have them. So we just what we'll do for now is that we'll go inside our script tag and at the end of it, we'll declare a const component. And we will components with an S.
Cool.
Yep, and we'll use the get slide zone components function.
Okay, nice.
And we will just call it with an empty object for now.
Okay. Impressive that it knew this, or like it thought this though. That's
basically when you have a first function imported from a package, it then become aware of the other.
Got it.
So we already had like use Prismic document by UID, so now it knows that we're using this package inside this document, and so it's a
you
bit
mean for the
smarter.
auto import?
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, I meant for
Oh.
this part of the recipe.data.body, just the fact that it knows that we've got that shape for our slices. Like that part was cool to me. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, indeed. All right, so and now we give our components to the components props.
Cool.
All right, and now if we go back to our page, we'll see something else. Yay. And as you can see that it's trying to render something, but we don't have yet provided our component. So it's looking for a table list component, for a resize tip component, and for a binary image component.
That's really helpful. Cool. And
so
yeah, I
which
never
one
saved
you
my change. Wait, so okay, yeah. I thought it screwed up our thing. Let's
no,
go for
no
banner
worries.
image. That should probably be the most straightforward, right? Get us an easy, an early win.
So we'll create our banner image component
right in here,
inside components. Yep, you can create it right here.
Banner image.view.
Yep.
Cool.
So well, for this one we need to define like this component like is a slice component in some way. So what we want to do is like, well, all right, I went a bit ahead, sorry, but yeah, like we can start with a template for view, like just a template.
Cool.
Inside it we'll add a figure tag. Yep, and inside it we'll have well, we'll come back inside it later. Okay. All right, now we can define a script tag.
Got it.
Right after, and so this time we won't use the composition API.
Oh, we won't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can remove the setup. You can keep the export default this time.
All right.
So, well, this time we're like just doing like a regular component. We don't need the composition API, but that's to show you like how we can like get like Prismic working, like to define this component as a slice. So we just define its props. So we'll have props, and props will use the get slice component props.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's great. And just call the function, and this like configures the props for this component to be like the props required for the slice.
Huh. Okay.
Because well, basically like in Vue, like you need to define the shape of your props like with React prop types.
Right.
And so this is a bit annoying, and like there's quite some props given to each slices. So instead you just have like a factory function that gives you like the right object for Vue, like to configure the props.
Okay, is this going to return the same thing for all of my components, or is this going to change depending on the component and what that component needs?
All right, so props is like React prop types again. Right. So it just like defines the shape of it, and the shape is always the same. So content is different, but the shape is different.
Okay, I think we'll see as we go. That's wild. You have a question. I don't know how to say that name, but hi, Prismic, have a backend that can be self-hosted, or dev and client need to log into your website to access the backend of app? I have a backend that can be so Prismic cannot be self-hosted. You log into Prismic. So Prismic handles the full hosting of the content. So it's if you need to self-host, Prismic wouldn't be the way to go.
Yeah.
But it's it depends on what you need. I see it as kind of a benefit, in that you don't have to handle a Docker file or whatever happens with a self-hosted kind of thing. But if that's what you need, Prismic is not the way to go. But yeah. So
although if all you want is just have some private content managed on Prismic, you can hide Prismic contents behind like an access token and have it rendered only to users that are logged into your app.
Yep. Yeah. So just quick. Yeah. I guess we're going to show that.
Sorry.
No. If they're curious, we can touch on that. Cool. So.
That's just for Vue that we need to define that, and that's everything that we need to do inside the script.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I was just expecting that, like for props, for this one, I would state like we're going to get an image, we're going to get a title, we're going to get some alt text, and I would say that shape. Okay. But how does this function know?
Actually, this function is only saying that you get a slice.
Okay, so
and with JavaScript, you're on your own. With TypeScript, you can go more precisely to what you receive. And actually, like I think if you hover the get slice component props function, like there's like a generic in TypeScript that allows you like to define more precisely what you get, but that's only for TypeScript users, unfortunately, because that's a bit more advanced, but
cool.
We can live without it.
I was just curious if this could intelligently figure out what it was getting. That's all.
Sadly, not yet.
All good. Cool.
All right, so here we're just getting an image, so it's really straightforward. Just gonna do a Prismic image, the component.
Inside.
Image, we give it the field, and the field is slice.primary.image.
So where's slice coming from? Oh, it's coming from the props. Okay.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Got it. And we've registered that
I don't know. Yeah. All right, and now that we have this string render, we go back to our site and we should see our image already. Oh no, we shouldn't. We need one last thing. Like we define the component. Now we need to register it exactly inside our get slice on components.
Cool.
So this is an object. So the object map the slice type. So the slice type for us is banner image. Yep. And we need to map it to our components. So this time we need to import above our banner image component.
Okay, yeah. So here. Is that right?
Yeah, you need to go back one step backward. Yep. And that should be fine. And now you just define it. And this should work. Yep.
Am I getting an error here? Maybe that's from before. Nope, still doesn't like it. From ... components banner image. ... should go well. Let me just type this out again.
Oh, banner image.view, I think you want.
Really?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, you're right. Interesting. Whoa.
Yeah. All right, so the image is a bit off, so we just add some CSS to it.
Cool.
So we go down the file. Yeah, we can do it like inline. No, we don't have some classes here.
Got it.
So we just add some style to it, and it's just like max width 100%.
On the image or on what?
Yeah, on the image tag. Yeah.
It heard you. That's creepy.
It's really smart.
Yeah. All right, cool. So in case chat doesn't remember, we used to have 4 of these could not find a component for, and now it found a component. So basically it's taking the array of slices that Prismic is sending it, and it's going, do we have a table list? Nope. Do you have a recipe step? Nope. Do you have a banner image? And then finds that one and kind of keeps going. Cool. Awesome.
So we implemented our first slice, so we can do other one. Awesome. Which one? So table list or recipe step?
Your call.
All right, so let's do the table list.
All right, nice.
All right, so we can duplicate our banner image file, I think. Yep. And just rename it to table list.
Cool.
All right, so we can remove the CSS part.
Okay.
The script tag remains the same.
Yeah.
And now we just need to render our table, basically. Okay. So we'll have a section. And inside the section, remember for our table, we had like a title. So we're just going to render the title first.
Okay.
So it will be Prismic text.
Got it. Not Prismic rich text, just Prismic text.
Just text here, yeah. And we'll provide it the field.
Okay.
So the field will be slice.primary.title. And we just again, this will get rendered inside a div, but here we want something else than a div, so I used an h3, so we just add a wrapper and h3.
Is it?
Just like no vbind, just like a regular attribute.
H3, cool.
Yep. And now we can add our table. So the table is a bit, again, there's some markup a bit weird to NES CSS, but we just add like, well, the table needs to be wrapped within a div, basically.
Okay. Wait, so
we add a div.
Okay.
And the div has a NES table responsive as a class. Okay. Yeah, basically this div is here because like it's create like an overflow properly on the table once non-responsive.
Got it.
But yeah, and now we can have a table, and the table will be NES table.
Okay.
The NES table is bordered. Sorry.
You're fine.
And is centered.
Whoa, right. Ben, thank you so much for that raid. Really appreciate it. How you doing? We're doing a little bit of Vue.
Yeah.
Wow. Great to have you, Ben. And welcome, everyone. Yeah, so we are doing some building with Vue 3. I mean, Lucie's teaching me, so she could probably explain it better. But let's see if I'm getting it. We're doing Vue 3, Vite, and we did some Vue Router, and now we're pulling data in from Prismic using the new Vue 3 compatible Prismic plugin that Lucie made. So yeah, we're having a lot of fun. We are making a pretty fantastic, if I do say so myself now, because it's not my site. Lucie made it, but I think it's fantastic. A great recipe site, completely horse themed, horse puns, lots of good stuff. And yeah, we're pulling all this data in, and so right now we're just building out some of the components that show the recipes. It's been really fun. It's a delightful experience, and we got this awesome NES CSS. It's super fun. So yeah, thank you for coming through, Ben's people. You are very welcome here. Thanks again for the raid, Ben. Good to see you. So all right, so we got this table.
Yeah, and now we need a T-body tag for the content of the table. That's optional on the table in HTML, I think, but like we just add it here because it's expected by NES CSS.
Got it.
And now we add a table row, indeed.
Okay.
Yep, and inside it we add two TD tag, table data, so T and D. Yeah.
Cool. And what do we put in there?
Yeah, we'll put data in there, but basically we need like to loop on the table row tag. Using v4 first, and then we'll add like two TD inside it for the key value pairs that we saw earlier.
Nice, right, cool. All right, so we're doing a
v4.
V4, cool.
Yeah, v4. It's item in slice.items.
All right.
So here, instead of accessing like the non-repeatable zone of our slices, we're accessing like the repeatable zone of it. So it's slice.items and not slice.primary. And as a key, we just do a key, and it's item.key.
Awesome.
It's pretty convenient.
Real quick,
when you have.
Before I forget, SO. Let's see if that works. Awesome. Yeah. Please follow Ben. Does some fantastic Obsidian stuff and a whole lot of others. And another Nuxt expert, if I'm getting that correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, Ben just joined us in the Nuxt ambassador crew recently.
Awesome. Wow. Got lots of good people in there. Very cool. So got our key.
Yeah.
Loving it.
Yep. And now we need to append the key here. So it will be, we interpolate item.key inside the TD.
Okay, so item.
Oh, I can. Yeah, 2 times. Item.key, and we had another table data, this time for item.value.
Cool. Copy these. Item.value. Oh.
Yep. And this should be almost it for the table. If we're
not showing
again. Yeah. So, we're done for the table. We need like to register it again to our slice zone, so we can go back to the _uid.vue file.
Cool. And same sort of thing. We're going to import it.
Same sort of thing. We import it. Yes.
So
it's table list.
Cool.
And again, we update the object with table_list and table list.
Nice.
There we go. And now we should see it.
Look at that. It's funny how simple it is, but the level of joy it brings me because it's in this NES style thing.
pixelated.
Like it just feels like I'm playing Stardew Valley, and it makes me very happy. So
Yeah.
that's great.
Well, one last thing we'll add to the table. We just wanted to take the full width, so we just add some CSS for that.
Cool.
So we can go to table. Yeah, we add some CSS at the end of the file.
Okay, done here.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for the following, Matt Dev. Glad to have you now, an honorary horse. Welcome. So are we scoping this?
You can scope it, but we'll target the table.
Okay, cool.
Table, and we'll use the width. And we'll use calc here because there's a bit like a tiny gotcha from NES CSS, but will be 100% minus 8 pixel.
100% minus 8 pixels?
Yeah, 8. Because like NES CSS is adding some paddings that like makes it overflowing the page, and so we're just doing that like to make it like to counter that padding.
Okay,
basically.
Cool.
But yeah, now it's full width.
That looks great. Love it. All right, one more. Got one more
One
component.
more.
We're on track.
And we're almost done.
Cool. All right.
All right. So
I'll make a recipe step. Oh wait, no, we can copy it, right?
Yeah, we can copy. That's quicker.
Yeah, let's go F2. Recipe step. All right.
Great. So yep, we can remove the CSS.
Right. Get rid of that.
We don't need. Yep, we can. You can ditch everything except the section.
Cool.
And so we'll add a div, and the div will be a NES container.
Okay.
The NES container is rounded with title. So that's like the same one as we had on the home page, basically.
With title like that?
Yep.
Cool.
And now we add a div inside it with the class title. So that will be the title of the container. All right. And inside it, we'll add the duration of the,
You're fine.
Inside we'll add the duration of the step. So it will be slice.primary.duration with interpolation.
Okay, so slice.primary.duration. Cool.
Yeah, you can append a M right after it for minutes. Like just after the interpolation, you can add the M like just as plain text to specify minutes. All right, cool. And now we add a Prismic rich text right after it.
Okay.
Text, and we give it the field, and it will be slice.primary.task.
Slice.primary. All right, real quick, I just want to check out our thing because I feel like I'm starting to lose. Yeah, so this was that key value pair that we just did. And
so that's the table, and that's the step. So the step is just a duration and a description of what the step is.
Got it. Okay, so this is all we need to render, really. And then the previous one was a repeatable zone where we just went key value. So as we added something, so I could add like, pairs.
Anything.
And then 20, right? And then that would show up in a new row on our table. And so this recipe step is a pretty simple one. We just have the duration and the task, and that's what we got here, duration task. Cool.
Yeah. All right. And now, well, that's already pretty much it. Well, we have a fun thing to show after, but let's just render it inside our slide zone. So again, we just update the list. So recipe step. Yeah. And now if we go back to our thing, we should show,
Looks awesome. That looks fantastic.
So well, right now we just like in the title of each step, we're just seeing like the minute, like the duration of it. But let's take a little challenge and add like the number of the step.
Okay.
And see how we can do that.
Okay.
So we'll get back to our recipe step component.
In here, cool.
Yeah. And here the issue is that like we are like on a slice, and the slice is not aware of what's around it. So how we can like compute the number of the step, like which step it is. The thing is that actually like the slice doesn't receive actually just itself. It also receives the whole slices to it, and we can use that to compute the number of the step.
Okay. How do we
So
do
we'll
that?
use a computed properties from Vue.
Cool.
So here we just like add another computed, and computed properties are like like a smarter watch effect from React, or I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think
they're like
cool.
interesting. Like they're like a feature of Vue that allows you like to compute new data on the fly according to other data, basically.
Cool.
So yeah,
it's an object with functions, right?
It's with function, and we'll call our step just to know the step. Yeah, it's a function. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that
fat
works.
Arrow or regular?
Well, I tend to use regular, but like just like right after step, you add like the parentheses. Like you don't even write function.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah. And so, and we will return. I don't know. So here we have like, we'll do like some JavaScript array manipulation in order to know what slices is. Because like we know like the slices are multiple things. Like the slices are of itself, so the slice content. It's aware of all the other slices that are rendered on the page, and it's aware of its index within the slices array. So the first thing, so the first thing that we want to do is to like actually get like slice the array to our current slices.
Got it.
So to do that, we will return this.slices, excuse me, slices, and we'll do that slice. Well, dot slice is like the JavaScript function, not the Prismic
slice.
Oh,
that's confusing.
And so we'll take like the zero for the first one, and we'll go up until this.index plus 1. Yeah, it was smart.
Yeah, it was.
Plus 1.
Wow.
So this gets us everything from the beginning of this slices array to our current slice. So, and now what we need to do, we need like to filter the slices, because each of the slices aren't especially a receipt task, a receipt step. So we need to filter only the receipt step from it.
Right.
So we'll do like dot filter, and we filter receive a slice.
Oh, it's doing weird stuff for me. Please stop helping.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying sometimes, I noticed.
Yeah.
So it's receives the slice.
Is this what we want? I don't think so. But so again, we have to pause and go like, is this slice?
So it's slice, and then we want only the slice that have the same type as receive step. So it's slice.slice underscore type equal receive step, underscore step. And now we are done. We just need to add a dot length at the end to just get the length of that array.
Cool.
And now we can use it inside our template. So I go in the title, just before the duration in the title.
Okay.
No, inside the title itself.
Oh, okay.
Inside the div.title, sorry.
Got it. Yeah. That's fine.
So we'll use interpolation again. So we'll use interpolation for step. And I just added like a prefix in HTML, like just step to just this is a step. And I added in between a pipe to just differentiate the minute and the and now if we go back to our thing, we should see step 1, 5 minutes, step 2, 30 minutes.
That's awesome. That's a really nice touch and a nice little trick there. That's super handy. I'm sure this will come up. Like that. That's going to come in handy for people. That's really cool. So
all right.
Now we've got our Heyo Melon. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Love it. And so yeah, you said you had a fun thing.
I said I had a fun thing.
This was the fun thing. Sorry. It
was a fun thing for me.
Yeah. I just didn't want to step on anything that you were going to do. I thought that was fun. I think that's really cool. I would not have thought of that. I thought we were going to have to pass something in from here, like pass something into the slice zone or something, some kind of index.
No, I quite like this solution. It's quite elegant.
Yeah. No, for real.
Yeah.
So do we want to play with the slices a little bit?
Yeah, we can play with the slice. Well, up to you. Like if you want to, like we can still do the header, but that's not really important.
I think let's just kind of show how, like, with the Heyo Melon, we can rearrange this as needed, right?
Sure. Yes.
So like this stuff is by choice locked in so that there's always a description, and we're not
Hmm.
moving and shifting that stuff around because like we need a title for everything. Um, but like if I want to move this banner image, I can just pop it like that, right? And it'll
Yep. So now the
publish.
banner image will be above the ingredient list.
Yeah,
And if we go back to our app and refresh, we'll see it like just
yeah,
above.
it's just right there. Frackberg, welcome. And Ed,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Super cool. Enjoyed seeing how all these technologies come together. Yeah, this was really really great. I the fast reload is super impressive with Vite. This composable API, am I saying that right? The composable
Yeah.
API,
Composition API. Yeah.
composition API. Thank you.
Yeah. We just scratched the top of it, but yeah, like I will say it again, but I think you can think about it just like a React component, except the return function.
Yeah, I remember hearing for a while like Vue's going to get hooks, Vue's going to get hooks, and I can kind of see what you
Yeah.
mean with that
It's hooks,
comparison.
except it's called composable.
Of course, I mean, name it whatever you want, as long as
Yeah.
it's easy to use. And this was fantastic, Lucie. You've done a great job creating this easy to use API. This was really really simple to use. So yeah, just within a couple hours, we set this up completely from scratch. We added Vite to start. We added Vue Router and Vue. Well, Vite brought Vue in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we went on. We declared our router. That was nice and easy. And then we set up our Prismic config, which was just as easy. I love this API where I don't have to find a big URL or anything. And then yeah, this was really really cool, Lucie. Thank you so much for putting this together. I love the content loved by both writers and horses. You put so much
Yeah.
just
Thanks.
really nice touches into this. I really really appreciate it. And the style is so cool. Great call on the NES CSS for this,
Yeah.
because this.
Maybe you want to show the final result
Yeah.
with a.
Can you? Yeah, let me find that link.
Yeah, I send it to you on the
Yeah.
the last link.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, we didn't get to the header, but made for a front-end horse by Alex and Lucie. Love it. Oh, and you even did like colors for the advanced, intermediate, beginner. That's fantastic.
I went through that also.
So
I
good.
also
I'll
did a
drop this in the
404
chat.
page, but yeah.
Came out great. This is just like I love this style. It's just so good. Lucie, thank you so much for coming on and for putting this all together. This has been a blast. Chat, any questions or anything you're curious about before we head out for a raid? Any Vue 3 questions? Oh, Lucie, let's plug your stuff, because you have a great blog. You have a great Twitter.
So yeah, you can check out my blog at lucie.red. And well, I don't blog so often, but when I do, I'm pretty proud
It's
of it.
fire. Yeah. When you do, it's great.
And yeah, I'm also on Twitter, so it's lucie.red/Twitter.
Yeah, dropping to Twitter and dropping in your website. Awesome. Yeah, Thomas, I agree. It's a super super fun style. It's yeah, NES CSS really fun, but like the touches you added to it were
Yeah,
I
was pretty fan of the Hey Melon. Like
yeah. That halo, yeah, so good. All right, cool. Well, I think that about does it. Join us Thursday. We've got a fantastic show coming up on Thursday. Steve Gardner is going to be teaching us some. Ed says, "Is it only me? I immediately went to swipe instead of scroll with that cursor pointer from NES. I could see that for sure." Yeah, so Steve Gardner, fantastic creative developer, is going to be joining us to teach us about Three.js and Greenstock Scroll Trigger. Going to be using them together, making something really cool. Steve does just incredible stuff. He did the burger drums on Component Carousel before. He's fantastic. So he's going to come on, teach us lots of stuff about Three.js and Scroll Trigger. We're going to make it together. So you in the chat, you'll be able to say, hey, what about this idea? Or what about that idea? And we'll go, yeah, that's awesome. Let's do it. Let's try to throw it in there. It'll be a nice collaborative kind of session. Learn along with us, code along with us. It'll be a great time. Thursday, right here. Make sure you're following so that you get notified. Yes, exactly. Thank you so much for coming, and we will see you on the next one. Hang out because we are gonna find somebody great to raid. Thanks so much. Take care.